documenting everything like before. But he also filled the required reflection journal with what they wanted to hear: gratitude for discipline, appreciation for structure, understanding of life's hardships. The Millers praised his progress. 3 weeks in, our parents' lawyer filed a motion. They'd completed a parenting course and wanted supervised visitation. The Millers supported it, saying family connection was important for our development. Mrs. Chen couldn't find legal grounds to refuse. The first visit took place at a community center. Mom arrived with her poverty journal and a box of appropriate items for us. Secondhand books about resilience, worn clothes from Goodwill. Dad brought worksheets about financial literacy and survival skills. They spent 2 hours testing our toughness, checking if we'd gone soft. My sister barely spoke. My brother gave measured responses, showing just enough hardship to satisfy them. I watched the supervisor, a bored woman who spent most of the time on her phone. Our parents were careful, staying just within the rules. They didn't deny us food or make us sit on the floor. They just reminded us constantly of what awaited when we came home. The visits became weekly. Each time our parents pushed a little more. They brought practice meals of rice and beans, insisting we eat them to stay prepared. They made us do push-ups and planks, calling it family fitness time. They quizzed us on poverty statistics and survival techniques. The supervisor saw dedicated parents helping their children stay connected to their roots. Meanwhile, the Millers increased their own version of preparation. Longer workdays to build endurance, smaller meal portions to teach appreciation, more cold showers to strengthen resolve. They compared notes with our parents, finding common ground in their shared philosophy of hardship. Catherine tried to stay in touch. She sent letters through Mrs. Chen, little cards with encouraging messages. The Millers screened them first, removing any that might undermine the placement. They let through the ones about being strong and working hard, interpreting them as support for their methods. My brother's documentation grew thicker. He taught me how to take photos with an old digital camera he'd found at a garage sale, bought with quarters saved from lunch money. We captured the locked pantry, the work schedules, the sparse meals. Catherine's teaching them basic life skills while their parents hire lawyers to explain why making kids sleep in garages builds character. That's like putting a band-aid on someone while the person who hurt them explains why pain is educational. But we needed more. We needed proof that would matter to someone who could help. The breakthrough came during a parent visit. Mom brought her updated poverty journal, showing the supervisor how she'd been documenting our progress. She flipped through pages of notes about our resilience levels and survival skills. The supervisor nodded approvingly at such dedicated record keeping. But Mom made a mistake. She left the journal on the table when she went to the bathroom. My brother created a distraction, asking Dad about compound interest calculations. I grabbed the journal and flipped through quickly, taking photos of key pages, detailed plans for our return, escalation schedules, methods that pushed far beyond what they'd shown the court. We had evidence, but no way to use it. The Millers monitored our computer time. Phone calls were supervised, mail was checked. We needed someone on the outside who would listen and act. The opportunity came through school. My English teacher, Ms. Rodriguez, noticed my essays growing darker. She kept me after class one day, gently asking if everything was okay at home. I wanted to tell her everything, but I'd learned not to trust easily. Instead, I mentioned missing our first foster placement with Catherine. Ms. Rodriguez knew Catherine from community volunteer work. She offered to pass along a message, just to let Catherine know we were thinking of her. I wrote carefully, knowing the Millers might see it, but I folded the paper in a specific way Catherine had taught us, a silly origami game that meant help us. Catherine understood. She started visiting the school during lunch, volunteering in the library. She couldn't approach us directly, but she was there, watching, waiting. She brought Ms. Rodriguez coffee and they talked quietly in corners. My brother found ways to pass information, a USB drive hidden in a library book, photos printed at school and slipped into returned homework. Slowly, Catherine built a file that told a different story than the official reports. The Millers noticed nothing. We'd learned from our parents how to hide in plain sight, how to perform expected hardship while planning quietly, how to survive by seeming to surrender. Every cold shower, every missed meal, every hour of labor was building our case. Our parents grew bolder during visits. They started bringing other families who practiced resilience training. They formed a support group right there in the community center, sharing techniques and celebrating each other's dedication. The supervisor saw a beautiful community of alternative parenting styles. One family brought their children, pale and thin, but polite. They compared hunger stories with us, discussing who had gone longest without food. Our parents beamed with pride when my brother won with a 3-day stretch. They didn't mention it was because the Millers had withheld meals as punishment for questioning the schedule. Mrs. Chen visited monthly, checking our progress. The Millers showed her our reflection journals, our completed chores, our academic improvements. We played our parts perfectly, expressing gratitude for the structure and discipline. She left satisfied that the placement was working, but Catherine kept building. She connected with other families who'd escaped similar situations. She found researchers studying extreme parenting